Miami Race Week is here, and this is genuinely the biggest upgrade opportunity of the entire 2026 Formula One season. We're talking about the kind of moment where nearly every team on the grid arrives with game-changing modifications to their machinery. Think of this as your new Emilia for 2026. If you don't know, Emilia is traditionally when teams bring their most significant upgrades each year. Well, Miami is filling that role this season, and the scale is massive. Now, why are teams pushing so hard to get these upgrades to Florida specifically? The answer is logistics and timing. The long break between races combined with the cancellation of the Bahrain Grand Prix created something unusual, an extended development window that stretched far longer than normal. Teams weren't just working during a standard 2-week break. They had nearly a month to design, manufacture, and perfect these packages. Every single team in the paddock has seized this opportunity to invest serious resources into substantial upgrades. We've got detailed information about what's coming from multiple sources, so we have a clear picture. And here's the kicker. There's only going to be one team bringing a circuit-specific upgrade design just for Miami, and when you hear which team it is, you're going to be surprised. Let's break this down systematically. We're going to start with the teams bringing the least amount of upgrades and progressively work our way up to the teams arriving with completely transformed cars. This structure matters because it tells a story about team priorities and strategic thinking. The conservative teams, minimal upgrades. Mercedes is in first place in the championship right now. You'd think a leading team would be aggressive with upgrades, especially when other teams are bringing major packages. But that's not what's happening. Mercedes is remarkably holding back their big upgrades for Miami. This decision is genuinely shocking when you consider the teams breathing down their neck with comprehensive modifications. The reality is that Mercedes hasn't brought meaningful updates all season. During pre-season testing, they introduced only minor aerodynamic adjustments, small tweaks here and there to various pieces, nothing substantial. Where are they saving their major push? Canada. That's where their significant package is arriving. For Miami, the team is bringing essentially nothing major, though there might, and I say might, be a circuit-specific front wing modification. But that's it. How do we know this? George Russell confirmed this directly in an interview. He actually discussed the team's development strategy publicly. The team has conducted what's called PLI tire tests. These are special sessions where teams test tire performance and gather aerodynamic data. During those tests, Russell revealed where the team will see performance changes materialize, and he made it clear, Miami won't be the location for major updates. It's a bold strategy, almost risky, to sit back when competitors are arriving with comprehensive packages designed to close the gap. Aston Martin has been relatively quiet about their plans, which is interesting. They made minor front wing adjustments back in China, and here in Miami they'll make some changes around the car as well. But don't expect major bodywork modifications, especially around the midsection. The focus seems to be floor work, changes to how the air flows under the car, and possible rear wing element additions. Think of it like adding small wings within the wing structure for additional downforce or drag management. But nothing groundbreaking here. Nothing revolutionary. The team is keeping their detailed plans close to their chest. Alpine represents another team where specific information has been scarce, which is frustrating. However, we can reasonably expect modifications to the floor and bodywork surrounding the midsection of the car. Their rear wing and front wing are already well developed from previous sessions, so those aren't getting major overhauls. Interestingly, during a test day, they added small fins on the side of the halo, that protective device around the driver's head. We actually saw these fins during pre-season testing. Sometimes they were on, sometimes they were off. These revised elements give us hints about what the larger upgrade package could contain. Here's the thing about Alpine's philosophy. They never go for anything revolutionary, but they try and improve the efficiency of the base of the package continuously throughout the season. The main changes will likely focus on the side pod inlet, how air enters that area, and how the downwash works toward the rear of the car. Downwash is a technical term for how air is pushed downward, creating additional grip. These incremental improvements might not sound dramatic, but they add up lap after lap. The middle ground, moderate upgrades. Kick Sauber, the team represented in green on the grid, will bring one very important piece for Miami. Now, let me manage expectations here. They're still expected to be pretty slow. Don't expect them to suddenly fight for Q2 spots alongside the midfield frontrunners. But this upgrade should help them inch up from their previous positions, which is meaningful progress. Here's the critical part that many people don't understand about engine upgrades. It's not engine performance they're gaining, but reliability that's going to be much better, which should open up additional performance. That's the distinction. They're not getting a faster engine. They're getting an engine that won't have as many issues, and that stability allows drivers to push harder because they're not worried about the power unit failing. Currently, Kick Sauber has been running under the RPM limit of most teams by literally 1,000 RPM. That's a huge gap. If your competitor can spin their engine at 15,500 revolutions per minute and you're only at 14,500, they're generating more power. When they unlock those additional RPMs through better reliability, that performance gap should make a pretty big difference through each lap. Aerodynamic pieces have been confirmed by Mike Crack and several other sources, though we shouldn't expect a major transformation like we've seen in previous races. That bigger overhaul will come near summertime. For now, it's incremental progress. Haas has been relatively quiet about their specific plans, which is typical for this team. They're keeping details close, similar to Alpine's approach. However, a significant package is definitely coming. We know they made minor front wing adjustments back in China. The main focus here will be floor work and possibly some bodywork changes around various areas. But based on what we're hearing, nothing massive is expected. The floor changes are most likely, and maybe some front wing additions, but the complete bodywork overhaul? That's not happening in Miami. The major contenders, comprehensive upgrades. Cadillac is bringing an absolutely massive package for their first home Grand Prix in Miami. Think about that for a second. This is a historic moment for the franchise. They're committing serious resources to make an impact in front of their home crowd. The upgrade will change the car's bodywork completely. I'm talking about wholesale changes. The floor, the side pods, even the front wing design, all of it will look very different come Miami to improve upon the aero package. Every single major aerodynamic component is being redesigned. The Ferrari engine in the back is decent and reliable, though not the best performer you'll find on the grid. The real weakness has been their bodywork aerodynamics, how the car cuts through air and generates grip. Both Colapinto and Bottas have discussed an interesting challenge. They're running different parts from Grand Prix to Grand Prix due to manufacturing variants. What does that mean in practical terms? When a part is manufactured, sometimes it comes out a few grams heavier or lighter than expected. If they built a floor piece that came out heavier than planned, they might swap it for a lighter version at the next race. If a side pod piece arrived at the track slightly different from what was simulated, they'd need to adapt. This upgrade represents a critical first-season learning experience for the team, and Q2 is a realistic target for Miami. If they can improve their aerodynamic package, they should be able to fight into that qualifying zone where the top 15 fastest drivers compete for pole position. It should be interesting to see if they can deliver that step forward. Williams faces perhaps the highest stakes of any team at Miami. Seriously, this Grand Prix could be very detrimental or big for James Vowles, the team principal. If the upgrades work spectacularly, it changes the trajectory of his tenure. If they fail to deliver, it raises serious questions. The team expects to shave off significant weight from their car. And here's a concrete fact, at least 1 second of lap time coming just from weight reduction. That's not a guess, that's how much lighter they're making it. Extensive modifications are coming around the side pod area. Those pods house the radiators and other cooling systems, and the engine cover above them. Williams has a historical pattern. They typically switch from side pod cooling to engine cover cooling mid-season. We might see that transition here for the 2026 Formula One cars. If this upgrade works, both Carlos Sainz and Alex Albon can fight Alpine and reach the high midfield, which is their stated target. If it fails, the team will be on their knees trying to catch back up. There's no gray area here. This Grand Prix determines their season trajectory entirely. Racing Bulls, the sister team to Red Bull, will bring a significant package that was originally planned for Bahrain but is now coming to Miami, with another major update following in Canada. Think about that scheduling. They're essentially doubling down on North American races. The package will completely change the look of the car, according to the team's own statements. Currently, they're competitive with Red Bull, which is impressive. If they can evolve their aero package successfully and make it better, they could actually exceed Red Bull's performance. That would be embarrassing for the main team, honestly. The power unit they use is excellent. It's inherited from Red Bull's technology. Here's an interesting observation about their car dynamics. Racing Bulls seems a little more consistent, which seems to be the trend that this car has the better balance, but is just a tad bit slower than the Red Bull that typically has a worse balance, but is the faster car. So they've got the better balanced, more consistent car but slightly less raw speed. If that aero evolves and becomes better than Red Bull's, it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility for them to leapfrog their senior team. Red Bull is bringing what amounts to, pretty much completely, a new car. The upgrade is comprehensive: side pods, front wing, engine cover, and a significantly changed rear wing. This is serious business. The rear wing innovation is particularly noteworthy and worth understanding. They have two versions of the rear wing, both with different actuators, and one of them is actually flipping the wing around, giving a very similar philosophy to that of the rotisserie wing, but making an even bigger gap to shed even more drag on the car. Imagine a wing that can rotate or flip between configurations. That's what they're doing. It's designed to reduce drag while maintaining downforce, which is the eternal aerodynamic battle in Formula One. The team has failed on upgrades in previous seasons, making this package quite crucial for their championship hopes. They need this to work. They've had too many failed upgrade attempts, and Miami is their moment to deliver something that actually improves the car. McLaren is delivering what they're calling a brand new car, with upgrades split between Miami and Canada. This is significant language. Andreas Stella, their team principal, stated the intent is to deliver a completely new car, especially from the aerodynamic upgrades point of view for the North American races. That's direct. That's a commitment. Here's the interesting part: the main deficit came from the power unit side, not the aerodynamics. But McLaren has done close consultation with the HPP team, which really works those Mercedes motors, and they achieved a quite significant step from Australia to Japan. HPP stands for High Performance Powertrains. They're the Mercedes power unit specialists. The collaboration created measurable improvements. McLaren has an excellent track record of delivering big upgrade packages that actually work. When McLaren announces upgrades, they materialize. The team needs significant aero improvements to catch Mercedes, who maintain an engine advantage despite both teams using the same power unit for Mercedes. It's the little details, the software, the tuning. Mercedes just has a slight edge they've developed over years of optimization. Ferrari is bringing a package and a half, significant but not revolutionary. Added that vertical strake, pretty similar to some teams like Aston Martin and a couple of others, but a lot of change has been done under the bodywork. A vertical strake is a small vertical fin, usually on the floor, that helps guide airflow. The internal work is extensive and allows weight optimization and better balance. They're adding elements to the front wing, and the rotisserie wing is finally making its debut for a full Grand Prix. This is a wing that rotates between configurations. The wing should hold up for the entire weekend without mechanical failures. With Mercedes not bringing much here, Ferrari could compete strongly alongside McLaren in what could become a three-way battle. The competitive landscape is shifting, and Miami could be the turning point. This Miami weekend could genuinely reshape the entire competitive hierarchy of 2026. Mercedes' decision to hold back creates vulnerability while McLaren and Ferrari arrive with major upgrades. The potential for a multi-team competition between Mercedes, McLaren, and Ferrari is genuinely exciting and hasn't been seen much this season. After this extended break, Miami provides the perfect reset point for the 2026 Formula One season to come alive with fresh competition and unpredictability. That's what makes this weekend absolutely unmissable.